Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Super Mario Galaxy, Part 20, I believe. I think it's Part 20. Fellas, I have something weird to mention, which is, if you guys may notice, this galaxy, as well as the stars that are in it, these were not done last time we did stuff, and that's because yesterday I actually tried to record this episode, and while we got part of the way through it, there were some technical problems. The good news about a game like Galaxy, though, is that you can very easily replay these. So what we're going to do, to kind of keep normal progression, we're going to replay through the stars that I was currently working through during, the attempted recording yesterday, right? That's what I'm going to do. But fellas, hope you all are doing well. I just had a ginormous breakfast. I am definitely, I think, making a choice by recording right after it. I think I've told you guys eggs and hash browns are a big jam of mine, all things considered. But, I think that, there is very good. It's just, man, I am feeling the effects of feeling bloated while recording, which may bite me in the butt. I honestly don't know for sure, but fellas, hope you all are doing well. Guys, I have a lot to talk about, okay? I have a lot to talk about conversation topic-wise, and honestly, it might be enough conversation topics that we might not even have the full amount of time to really, I guess, discuss it fully in this recording session. Because I record about 2-ish videos, per recording session. Sometimes, as you guys know, I do a little bit more. Like at the beginning of this series, I actually recorded 4 episodes in the first recording session, which is fine. I don't think there's any issue there necessarily, but it definitely, I really should not be. Okay, we're going to do it like this. We're not going to do it like this. What was I thinking? Okay, hold on. Wait, we might be fine. We might be fine. No, I think we're fine. I don't think there's an issue here. No, we're chill. But for those of you who didn't see yesterday, fellas, yesterday actually was the airing of the Mario Kart World Direct, which I have told you guys on a multitude of occasions that I've been very, very excited for. Hey, look at that nice silver star. Wow, guys, it's so different. We are not actually getting an increased star count from it, but that's okay. Hey, listen, we're running through the process, okay? I want to make sure you guys miss out on as minimal amounts of stuff as humanly possible, right? It's kind of my goal, and what can you really do about it? But yesterday, fellas, was the Mario Kart World Direct. It was kind of an interesting case, right? Because I think a lot of people in the general social media sphere who looked at the Nintendo Direct came out of it with a kind of negative impression. Which, listen, and this is the weird thing, and this might go into something that I may end up talking about later in this recording session. I think as a whole, the general consensus around Mario Kart World is it's a good game. It looks like a really, really good Mario Kart game. But then, you kind of have to put it under that lens of, well, it's $80, so is it worth the $80 price point? And I'm just going to be real. I'm going to keep it $150 with you. For as excited as I am about that game, I don't think anything that game could possibly do, in my opinion, will ever justify it being $80 by any means. I really do feel like $70 has got to be the cap for justification on a video game, in my opinion. I mainly say that in this economy because, again, maybe this is something I've talked about before when talking about this. That was honestly, truly horrendous start. But something I've talked about before is that, technically in the Nintendo sphere, we've already gotten $80 and $90 games. This is already a thing that's happened. It happened during the N64 era, and I think a lot of the reason that Nintendo did it, I don't remember the specifics, but I think in a similar fashion to right now, where they're just kind of winging it and really just doing it because they think it's worth it, you know, it's a lot of the same reason they're doing it now. And I think also a lot of the reason that it was tolerated at the time was because wages, you know, listen, I'm not going to get into that whole discussion or anything, but wages were a lot more normalized and you could lead into that a lot more sustainably. You could lean into trying to save up for a game a lot more sustainably. That's not as easy. Not that it's impossible, but I think a lot of us obviously know that it's not as easy as it could be, right? So what I'm trying to say is that while I think this game looks amazing and I have so much good stuff about it that I'm about to start saying, okay, don't listen, this is not going to be a negativity spree. I have so much good stuff that I want to talk about. You know, if Nintendo's goal during the Direct was to convince people of why this is $80, I don't think they did that the greatest. I think what happened was they made a Direct that sold the game like how they normally would. Like how they would normally sell a $60 game or maybe a $70 game, right? The problem is that I don't know if Nintendo understands that maybe this had to, in a lot of people's eyes, again, for me, for someone like me who has just kind of got the mindset of this is pricey, it shouldn't be pricey. But, you know, I'll end up getting it eventually, right? And that's the key word, eventually. I'm not hopping on this sucker immediately. I don't normally do that with console launches either. That's I think that's also another reason that I'm a little more nonchalant, a little less up in arms about the price stuff, is because while I don't think it should be the way that it is, I have also notoriously never gotten a Nintendo console at launch. That's never really been much of a thing. I think, honestly, maybe the closest that I ever did that was the Switch. The Switch came out in March of 2017, and I believe I got mine for Christmas of 2017. So it was still, it was still like 8 months after, which I still think is a pretty sizable, you know, difference in time period. And I don't know. It's one of those things where I think a big part of the reason that I was always so okay with, you know, not getting a console at launch, even if I really wanted to play those games, was because as a kid, I grew up watching a bunch of Let's Plays, and Let's Plays were kind of my form of, they weirdly always felt like I was playing the game, right? They always felt like I was playing the game. And I think as a result, for me, it's like it gave me this time period where even though in the back of my head, maybe I was thinking while watching these Let's Plays of games that I wanted to play that are on consoles that I don't own, or maybe I have the console but I don't have the game, right? Let's Plays were kind of in a weird way a form to, I guess, sort of experience the game while not having the game, right? And I think what's honestly going to happen is that, because of the fact that I'm so much more aware of that now, hey, we're finally getting to new stars, by the way. We're only 8 minutes in, surprisingly. But as a result, man, I think what's going to happen with Mario Kart World is that, yes, I'm not going to be getting it at launch, okay? Let's make that clear. You guys are not going to be seeing Let's Play Mario Kart World Part 1 on launch day on June 5th. You're not going to be seeing that. Honestly, it is 100% a game that I will be Let's Playing when I do get it. It is just not going to be on June 5th. It's going to be probably months down the line. Shoot, it could even be like a year from now. And of course, I know in the content creator sphere, I think a lot of content creators are very much in the sort of camp of like, oh, well, you know, we're still going to get this because it's our job, right? This is not my job. Okay, I don't know if you guys got that vibe. This is not my job. It is simply just something that I want to do to really, it's therapeutic for me, right? In a sense, it is very therapeutic for me, but I think it also reminds me of a simpler time here on YouTube, and that was a lot of the reason that I started doing this in the way that it did. I think that's also a lot of the reason that the way that I portray these videos are not very professional. You don't see custom thumbnails made, which I want to make it very clear. I don't think you having a proper thumbnail in a video is immediately professional because you put a proper thumbnail on it. I think really it's just, to me, there's a very different vibe to the way that like Let's Plays are done, like the ones like what I'm doing, and the way Let's Plays are done in the sense of like, I don't know, you know, I guess any modern gameplay videos that you see where they're very high effort, you know, high in video editing and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, I have experience with video editing, but I make it quite the intentional choice, honestly, to do my videos the way that I do them. So, moral of the story, when Mario Kart World comes out on June 5th, what I am going to be looking the most forward to, despite the fact that I will not be getting the console nor the game on day one, is I will be looking most forward to watching other people play this game. I can't wait to see a bunch of people play Knockout Tour, fellas. One of my favorite types of videos to watch right now has genuinely been people, and some of you guys may have seen this if you have cared to look into it, but it's the people who have been recording and filming their footage at the Nintendo Switch 2 experiences that are held around various locations around the world. You know, I think there was an LA event, whatnot, and those are genuinely my favorite right now. They're genuinely my favorite because, you know, they provide a lot of footage about the game that I don't think in a lot of ways is new footage. You know, there's a lot of things that those demos of Mario Kart World are putting into place that intentionally limit the users. Like, for instance, smart steering is automatically on. You can't disable it. And let's be real, if you even have some resemblance of an experience with Mario Kart, you don't probably use smart steering, right? I'm sure the very casual audience does, but I think most people who were probably doing a Switch 2 experience event didn't need smart steering. Like, if they could turn it off, they probably would have, right? And so, I don't know. All this to say, right? All this to say, how did I feel about the Mario Kart World Direct? I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good, which, again, isn't the general opinion, but I thought it was really, really good because it really shed light on some stuff that maybe we already knew, or maybe some people already... Oh. It goes back there. Oh, you know what you probably have to do? Hold on, I have a theory. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to get to that middle island for sure, but I think maybe, just maybe, fellas, I think I might have an idea of what we could do, okay? So here's my thinking, okay? You hop up here. You hop up here, and we launch off from there. You know what? To even add some extra to it, let's go up here. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think we're getting up there like that. How are you? Oh, I didn't even realize you were on me. Oh, I'm getting destroyed. This is insane. It's okay. This has always been a much longer star in the game to me, honestly. So it'll probably take a little bit of time to do its thing on this, but that's okay. I don't really have much of an issue. Listen, but we got time to kill, fellas. I don't really think there's a huge issue at the end of the day, but yeah. So the Mario Kart World Direct was good. A lot of the big things that they talked about. First of all, if we're gonna talk about some new stuff that I really feel like people, you know, who I think we're mainly looking into is the $80 justifiable. I think something people were really glossing over, and it genuinely blows my mind, was the people glossing over the P-Switch stuff in free roam with mission mode. Guys, I feel like people were sleeping on that hard. You want to know why? Because that is essentially the variety that a lot of people were, I think, looking for in, you know, in the free roam. I think a lot of people's biggest complaint potentially with free roam was that, okay, cool, it's cool that you have this big open world, but what is there to do in the open world, right? And I think that's a valid complaint. I think it's a very valid complaint for the record. How in God's name do you get up there? Am I just dumb? Wait, I have a theory, and it's probably incorrect. I have a theory, and it's probably incorrect. Do you potentially... Let me out. Can you cannon there? You probably can't. This would... Okay, man. This would be honestly so bad if I messed this up. I mean, it would just be truly awful, really. But, you know, the mission mode stuff in free roam is so cool to me, man. They said, and I quote, that there were hundreds of things. There were hundreds of these P-switches to find around the open world, which means hundreds of little missions. Yes, I understand that they're bite-sized, but fellas, hundreds of missions? I mean, that's great, in my opinion. How much do you need? 4. All right, man. I wonder if you lead me to that middle. If you honestly do, that would make a whole lot of sense. I don't know for sure if you do, but you may. Okay, so I'm just going to hand these over to you now. But yeah, hundreds of missions to do in the open world. And I think the thing that people are still a little conflicted about is that, like, okay, cool, but, like, what do you get from doing these missions? And I think, again, this is kind of where things start to get just really, like, I don't know how to feel, because this isn't where we're supposed to go, is it? Oh, God. What? How do you get to the middle planet, man? I feel dumb, but, like, how do you... There might... Okay, I'm gonna do one look around here, see if I can't find something pertaining to it. If I can't, we'll get that Luma star, and then we might actually just come back to that star at a later point. Do you have relevancy? Do you have something to say? If you want to go see the captain, just use this. What's the relevancy of seeing the captain, though? Also, what is this for? I don't know if you can grab onto that. Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. I have an idea. I swear to God, if you just give star bits. If you just give star bits, I mean, it's honestly... I can't grab... Cool. Fun fact of the day, fellas, you can't grab Koopa shells when you're in B4. Do I understand why that is? Not exactly. I'm just gonna keep it $1.50 with you. I don't really understand, but yeah. So stuff like that was really cool. Getting a little bit of a look onto the versus mode. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with these videos, and a lot of the things that I've been saying about what I want to see at the Mario Kart World Direct, one of the biggest things that I mentioned that I really, really want to see is something in regards to... Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on. There may be... Okay, well, you could let that go now. Do you have something to say? Checked around, but there's nothing between here and the lighthouse. It doesn't lead me there. Where? Hey. Everyone here is helping us look for the silver star. How do you get there? That's what I want to know. Do you have something to say about it? Okay. Honestly, you know, what I think we're really gonna do, since we have spent like 6 minutes just aimlessly traveling around here, I think what we're honestly gonna do is we're just gonna do that secret star that exists, and we're gonna call it there. But yeah, so one other thing that I just gotta say, online looks great. The fact that the waiting lobby, when you're waiting for your friends, is in the open world. You go to see them and you can just free roam. Dude, it's so cool. It's so cool to me. I am not exactly surprised this happened, but Knockout Tour having its own VR system was exactly what I predicted. And what I kind of predicted they were going to do was that instead of there being regional rankings like in the previous Mario Kart games online, what we were going to get was something in relation to, instead of regional, we were going to get Knockout Tour, right? We were going to get Knockout Tour and maybe its own rankings, and that's exactly what happened. Battle mode, I will be real, is, I mean, I'm not surprised it's happening, let's put it that way. I'm not surprised it's happening, but I don't exactly think there's anything there that I'm like clamoring about, right? I don't exactly think, and I think it's mostly just because it's balloon battle and coin runners again. You know what's crazy, fellas? I might have boned myself. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Could I save this? Could this be the save of the year? Wait. This is a much harder version of the Hurry Scurry Galaxy star that we found back in the, what was it, the Fountain Dome? I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. So not the intended star we were going to get, but we got it. So, yeah, online looks great. Looks great. I love it. I have so much that I want to say about versus mode, which I was talking about earlier, but I kind of got interrupted. So here's what's going to happen, fellas. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to pick this conversation up in the next episode. But I have so much that I want to say. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, fellas, that's going to do it for this episode of Super Mario Galaxy. Weird episode, obviously, because in a lot of ways, it was kind of replaying things that I've already technically done. But, you know, I want there to feel like a semblance of progress that's specific to this Let's Play. So if that means replaying 3 stars that I had done yesterday, but, you know, they were in a failed recording, hey, guess what? Today they got done and 1 extra star. So we got 1 star this episode. We didn't really technically make a ton of progress, but in the context of this Let's Play, 4 stars today. You take what you can get, okay? In the next episode, I'm gonna look up how to do that star, how to get to that middle island, because honestly, I'm not sure how that's done typically. And we'll probably do that star, and after that, we'll probably move on to a galaxy that I'm very, very excited about. Okay, it's a full-fledged galaxy, and it's going to be very fun, but you guys will have to wait until the next episode to see that. Until then, fellas, that's going to do it for this episode of Super Mario Galaxy. Fellas, if you enjoyed this video, maybe like, comment, subscribe. I don't know, it's your life. Do what you want. I don't really care. And I will see you fellas in the next video. Bye-bye, guys!